The freezer door slams open by itself, blasting cold air across the room as something inside shifts violently, like it's trying to escape. A sharp cracking sound echoes from within, too rhythmic to be ice, too deliberate to ignore, and it doesn't stop when the door hangs open. Something small moves inside a chunk of frost, fast, purposeful, and then disappears before either of them can fully process what they saw. He pulls out a piece of ice, but it's not solid. Tiny shapes flicker inside, forming patterns that shouldn't exist at that scale. The shapes sharpen into structures, roads, walls, movement, and then vanish again as the ice melts faster than it should. She grabs another chunk, larger this time, and inside it, something collapses, like a building crumbling in seconds. They freeze as faint, distant noise leaks out of the freezer, crowded, layered, like thousands of voices compressed into a whisper. He pushes aside the top layer of frost, exposing a hollow beneath, and the sound grows louder instantly. Inside, a tiny landscape stretches across the base, complete, active, and changing faster than their eyes can follow. Movement accelerates, figures, structures, motion, everything unfolding in seconds as if time itself is being forced forward. He blinks and the terrain has already changed, new formations, new patterns, as if decades just slipped past unnoticed. She reaches in cautiously, but the air inside feels denser, almost resistant, like it doesn't want to be disturbed. The moment her fingers cross the threshold, the movement below stutters, then speeds up even faster than before. They pull back instinctively as the sound spikes into something sharper, like alarms or warnings, but distorted. The freezer hum deepens, vibrating through the floor, and faint cracks begin spreading along the surrounding tiles. He tries to shut the door, but it resists, something inside pushes outward, just enough to stop it from closing. A sudden flash bursts from within, illuminating the room for a split second, revealing shapes that weren't there before. When the light fades, the freezer interior looks different, more structured, more organized, like something has evolved instantly. The sounds change too, less chaotic now, more synchronized, like coordinated movement on a massive scale. Then both of them hear it clearly, a voice, distorted but unmistakable, coming from inside, saying something directed at them. The voice repeats, clearer this time, not random noise but structured speech, and it reacts the moment they shift their position. He leans in further, and the sound sharpens into multiple overlapping voices, all rising at once as if responding to his presence. Suddenly, the voices stop completely, replaced by a deep silence that feels heavier than the noise before it. Inside, the movement below reorganizes instantly, structures aligning, pathways forming, as if preparing for something deliberate. A pinpoint of light appears within the tiny world, flickering at first, then stabilizing into a steady, unnatural glow. The glow expands outward in pulses, each one faster than the last, spreading across the miniature landscape in seconds. He steps back, convinced it's about to burst, but instead, everything stabilizes into a calm, almost peaceful stillness. They hesitate, then slowly approach again, expecting chaos, but nothing moves inside anymore, not even a flicker. Relief creeps in too quickly, and she reaches forward again, convinced whatever it was has ended. The instant her fingers cross inside, the light detonates outward, flooding the freezer with blinding intensity. The blast doesn't leave the freezer, but the sound does, echoing through the apartment like a distant shockwave. They look inside again, expecting destruction, but instead find a completely transformed landscape, dense, vertical, and unfamiliar. Movement resumes, but it's controlled now, precise, synchronized, far beyond the chaotic patterns from before. A sharp tone cuts through the air, and both of them flinch as the sound aligns perfectly with their own movements. He tests it, moves his hand slowly, and the tone follows, rising and falling exactly with his motion. The realization hits hard, whatever is inside isn't just reacting, it's tracking them. The interior shifts again, faster now, structures rising and collapsing in rapid cycles as if running through possibilities. He slams the door shut this time, forcing it closed, cutting off the light and the sound in one violent motion. Silence returns instantly, thick and unnatural, as if the entire apartment is waiting for something to continue. A faint tapping begins from inside the freezer, slow, deliberate, spaced too evenly to be random. The tapping changes rhythm, forming patterns that feel intentional, like something is trying to communicate. He backs away, shaking his head, but the tapping grows louder the farther he moves, chasing him across the room. She steps forward instead, placing her palm against the freezer door, and the tapping stops instantly. For a moment, everything holds still, no sound, no movement, until a low hum builds beneath her hand. The hum intensifies, spreading through the metal and into the walls, turning the entire kitchen into a vibrating chamber. He shouts for her to move, but before she can react, the freezer door unlocks itself with a sharp metallic snap. The door creaks open slowly, revealing a steady glow inside, not chaotic anymore, but focused and directed. At the center, a single structure dominates the space, far larger than anything before, pulsing with contained energy. The pulses synchronize with the hum in the room, linking the freezer to the apartment in a way they can feel. He reaches toward the power cord, desperate to cut it off, but pauses when the pulses suddenly slow. Inside, the structure begins to unfold in layers, revealing intricate forms that shift too fast to fully comprehend. Fragments of light lift from its surface, rising upward toward the freezer opening like sparks seeking escape. One fragment crosses the boundary, entering the kitchen air, and hovers there, stable, silent, waiting. Then another follows, and another, until the space above the freezer fills with drifting points of light. The lights begin to move, not randomly, but in coordinated paths that mirror the earlier patterns inside. He steps back again, but the lights adjust instantly, maintaining distance as if tracking his position. She doesn't move, and the lights cluster closer to her instead, tightening their formation. The hum peaks suddenly, and all the lights snap into a single line pointing directly at the freezer. For a brief second, everything stops, no motion, no sound, like a held breath before something irreversible.